Hey guys, Mike here. So we'll put out a shorter video today because tomorrow is the day we have Nvidia reporting earnings, and you see the whole market is literally on pins and needles, and I'll show you why that is. And of course, if earnings come in bad, this is what they expect for the world. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? And if it come in good, it's like, yay, we're in a new kind of world now, and everybody's happy. And they're not the only one reporting, but it'll be after market hours. But you can see there's plenty reporting in the morning, tons of retailers reporting, and then of course Nvidia, CrowdStrike, Salesforce, Affirm, Okta. I mean, just a boatload after. But the only one that matters is Nvidia because obviously it's the king of AI, right? That's what this whole pump has been about. And you can see they think so much about this stock. As I put in the Discord here, the moves they're expecting here is absolutely insane. It started off at like 13% for the week, but if we zoom in here, you can see now it's about between 9–10% is usually what they're expecting. It is equivalent, believe it or not, to what an FOMC meeting with a decision on a rate cut is. Actually, that's the move they're expecting and the kind of effect they expect this to have on the market. Because obviously, if it comes down, all the semiconductors are coming down. That's been like the leading sector. The Qs are coming down for sure. Anything touching AI is coming down. Right now, how far it come down, we don't know. Right. When you look at it, what's it been doing? Just sitting there saying, here we are, doing nothing, consolidating, right? So it's just waiting, okay? And so I don't expect some huge movement tomorrow. I'll be surprised. They started selling it off this morning, of course, right? And again, when they report earnings, a move up, these arrows, that represents the move, the expected move, okay? It's either going to 140, if it reaches the expected move, or it's going back down to that first shaded area right there. If that is the case, you can see if we measure this out between 9–10%, which is what they're expecting right now, that's what equals both those shaded areas. So technicals don't even matter at this point in time. Now, when you look what they did today, when they started to sell it down to that trend line, then they started bringing in what? The sweeps, right? Here comes the call sweeps. At the 110 strike, which I found to be very interesting, by the way, there's millions of dollars, and then, of course, it started to turn back up and close above the line and all that fun stuff. And so no surprise there. But again, I was going to check on SMH because I was curious to see, because this holds, I think the largest holding SMH is Nvidia. And where they leave us at, they left us right up against the trend line as resistance. So I definitely want to see tomorrow if they try to put this above the trend line before earnings, because obviously if earnings comes in bad and the market reacts and goes, oh my God, it's horrible, then back down that shaded area we go. And when you look at this moves, expected move, will put $300 billion of market cap back on Nvidia. And when you look at these market caps right now, you can clearly see Nvidia sitting there at 3.16 trillion as of close today, 3.08 trillion on Microsoft. And I put these three in here because what? This is a three-pony race, right? And then Apple took back its crown. So if Nvidia actually does put on $300 billion in market cap, it will put it right up there next to Apple once again, and leaving Microsoft in the third spot. Actually, pretty decently behind in the third spot. And then you might notice on SMCI here, we talked about it yesterday about trying to set a higher low and watch out for this shaded box. And that's where it came down to. It actually came down lower than that. You might have noticed it was down like 8% at one point in time before the market opened and didn't close anywhere near that. But what happened was, my favorite thing, I hate it more than anything, is a short report came out by this company, which is famous for putting out short reports, Hindenburg right there, and that dropped it, all about accounting practices and things of this nature. And who knows if it's true? I have no idea. I'm not an investigative journalist. It wouldn't surprise me, but there's always different ways to fudge numbers and stuff like that. Don't mean it's wrong or right, but maybe they got a hold of the books. Who knows? But when you look, actually, we'll go to a smaller time frame here to show you what I'm talking about. It dropped more than that for sure. An extended hour in pre-market. See where it dropped down to right there? I believe it was around like 497 is where it actually ended up right there, as you can see. And so, even before market opened, or actually it closed, it recovered about 11% pre-market, and then by the end of the day, it actually recovered quite a bit. And so, how I feel about short reports and stuff, but this is one of those stocks that it is, we talked about a while back, hanging on a thread. And this one right here is depending on Nvidia earnings more than anybody else, because if Nvidia comes in bad, this is going to get hammered. And I'll move this shaded box up if we get good results. The market actually, really wants to move up. That's your next target. But when you pull out on this thing, what I'm talking about is you cannot break that level right there around 480. Okay, and we go up here, we'll pull up the volume profile. You'll see what I'm talking about. Because if it breaks that level, oh boy, I mean, you better hold on for sure, because some people are going to be really, really depressed if they're in this stock. Because when we start messing around with this, you'll notice, it's like I put on here last time, was a small volume node, which basically its last line of defense, and that's where it bounced from the last time. And when you look at it, if it breaks that right there and gets below 480, look at that. See that huge volume gap over there? Yeah, that is not good. Okay, and this thing could drop all the way to like $341. So keep your seatbelts on and your tray tables up for landing on that one. Now, looking at seasonality, just to give you a reminder, we're going to go into September, coming up here pretty soon. And you can see that is the worst month seasonality-wise for semiconductors. May is one of the best, but of course November absolutely crushes it, 90% win rate. But you look in September, 40% win rate. Okay, not a good thing. And so we'll see if that's the case. I know we're in this AI pump, so things could be different, but we'll see how that goes. Because you could see Nvidia report do well. Maybe the market moves back up. You get in your all-time highs, and then it sells it back down, right? If we get this weak seasonality in the market, the overall market, right? Now, another obviously sector we talked about yesterday. Didn't remember what was going on in the market. Most of these were green. You can see right here. Obviously, a firm's getting right up against that trend line. I can't believe Upstart's still going, but it is. And then SoFi is sitting there trying to break out above that trend line right there. And one of you guys had asked me, you said, hey, how come SoFi moves like a snail and you got something like Upstart, for crying out loud? It actually just, it'll rocket ship, right? And you can see PayPal here real quick. I mean, just sitting in the same area trying to test that support line right there. But it's a very easy answer. I've showed you guys this in the past, but what happens is you got Upstart, for example, very low float stock, very highly shorted, right? It's a high flyer. When you come down here, you'll see I'm talking on FinViz, 76 million shares in the float, 86 million shares outstanding, 30% of the float was shorted at one point in time, has a $3 billion market cap, versus SoFi, you bring this one down, over 1 billion shares outstanding, and it has a $8.2 billion market cap. And so it's about, at least twice, a little bit bigger than that than this one. So that's what allows them to manipulate the heck out of Upstart, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, I will leave you with this data right here, because I believe we need to say updated and everything. And it's percentage of credit card balances delinquent greater than 90 days. This came out yesterday, actually last night. And you can see big move up right here. And normally you don't see this kind of big move unless you're in a recession, right? But again, I know, some people think recession. I've been saying rolling recessions, whatever. And I'm actually going to do a whole detailed video I do once a month with the members on a recession watch. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say some generations are what's causing this right now. You'll see more detail if you're a member. So I'll put that out probably next week. But when you look at this, obviously above the norm, right? So something to be concerned about, so I'm bringing it to your attention, because 90 days is not good. This one came out today. I've actually never seen this chart before, and I love it. Regional Fed Services Employment Composite, right? So it takes in Philly, New York, Richmond, Kansas City, Dallas, and you take the average. Well, look where it's at. It's below negative for the first time since 2020. And when you look what the norm is right there, right? So the only time you see it, that's 08 right there, you see it in the negative on average is when we're actually going into a recession or a market crash. Okay, so again, just putting it out there as an average. A lot of things have been thrown off by immigration and all kinds of fun stuff, but I'm just trying to at least let you know, what's happening as it comes in and stuff, so you'll be aware of this. Now, looking over here at the Dallas Fed Services Index, this is services, not manufacturing. And the reason I wanted to look at services is because I know manufacturing's hot garbage, right? You look at this one, minus 7.7 versus 0.1 before. And when you look at norm, obviously we're below zero. That's in contraction here in the Texas Services Service Outlook. But when you look at norm, obviously above zero, not in contraction, okay? And so this is just something to be aware of. Now you're seeing services getting hit, because we know manufacturing, again, 3 years, been in a recession, been in contraction, okay? So services, which makes up 70% of the economy, okay, it is the thing to really be watching. And so again, I'll continue to give you this data as I can. And on a global scale, touching this yesterday, but there's more, data coming out of China, right? Their economy is a hot mess, still a hot mess. And you saw that with PDD. When they come out and said, I think their CEO said like 7 different times that their profits were going to see and their sales were going to see challenges going forward, because they're a discounter and everything. And again, they keep putting stimulus upon stimulus upon stimulus out there, trying everything. I think they even ordered fund managers or somebody over there to start trying to like buy stocks or something, try to prop up their stock market. But you can see also, then you end up having one of their most popular fast food chains, right? And they announced they're going to shut down a dozen outlets. You saw Starbucks, obviously, talking about how Chinese revenue is dropping. And so the reason why it's really important to know this on a global scale is because there's a lot of American companies that do business with China. And so it's the second largest economy, whether you hate China or not. You need them on a global scale to continue growth. Okay, and so that's a big thing, especially like Apple and stuff, right? And Tesla. Okay. Now, as far as news tomorrow, really nothing going on besides crude oil inventories and then the FOMC speaker speaking. That's it. It's all about Nvidia after hours tomorrow, guys. Again, I'll report to the members what the earnings were in the morning. See if we get any good ones or not. Some have been good, some have been bad. So there's some big ones tomorrow, right? So please put your prediction what you think is going to happen tomorrow. So Nvidia, if it's going up or down, the market's going to follow. Besides that, please hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. Feel free to sign up for the membership so you get private videos, daily news brief every morning, and the Discord and stuff. So again, you can see all that right there. Less than McDonald's combo. So have a good one, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.